What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome to r/AskReddit with my terrible artwork, where today, you're gonna finish this video feeling a heck of a lot more intelligent. Okay, so the AskReddit question was, George Carlin said, think of how stupid the average person is, and realize half of them are stupider than that. What real-life example have you seen that validates this view? I used to work in Banff National Park. One day, at the end of the tour, I was driving some guests back to their hotel, and a woman was adamant that Banff was clearly a very dangerous place to visit since we just let wild animals run around everywhere. They should be in cages. Had to fight the urge to throw her off the bus pretty hard. Some other gems that came up in the past include guests insisting he needed to change money that they got in BC to Alberta currency, not a real thing. A man very irate that the entire Trans-Canada Highway was not lit with proper street lamps every 100 yards. That would be a stunning waste of energy, not to mention probably cost more than our national budget, and your car has lights on it. And more than a few have grossly underestimated the distances involved in a country like Canada. No, you cannot drive from Calgary to Toronto and back in the same day for lunch at the CN Tower. That just sounds like one of those bad Google reviews of a national park. You know, too dangerous, animals should be in cages. I mean, it's a national park. You know, Yellowstone, it's the same way. The animals are wandering around in the wild. You could get attacked by a bear on a trail. That's just how national parks work. And actually, on a similar related note, that reminds me of a story from the summer just before my senior year of high school. My scout troop and I, we were doing this 50-mile hike in the backwoods of Yosemite. And through a long series of sort of mix-ups and not taking into account a forest fire that went through that summer and kind of dried up all the creek beds that we'd planned on and whatnot, our group kind of got split, and some of the people decided to hike back. And the 4 people that decided to hike back told us later, after those of us who stayed finished the hike and we all got back together back home, they said that the first morning after they left, they woke up and there was a bear rummaging through one of the guys' packs. And he'd just been digging through it, and when they woke up, it startled him, and he just took off running. And so, being invulnerable teenagers, they did what any invulnerable teenager would do, and chased after this bear with its head in a backpack. Well, they track it, because, you know, its paw prints are fairly easy to follow in ash, and they find his pack with a big old dent in it, and the tracks at that point just kind of start wobbling and going back and forth, and what they've kind of surmised is that he ran into a tree with the pack still on his head. And then just kind of got his head out and wandered off with maybe whatever a bear concussion would be like. Oh, that must have been a funny visual, but seriously, it's a national park. You go there to enjoy watching the animals in nature. I worked at a bank. Mobile depositing had just become a thing. We received a picture of someone's cash for deposit. Yeah. Yep. There are those people out there. A woman I used to work with who insisted that any animal could reproduce with any other animal. She believed that sperm from any animal was the same and that DNA was irrelevant. She believed this because she once saw some sickly, possibly deformed puppies and decided that they must have been half dog, half rat. Makes all the sense in the world. The fact Florida has to tell people not to shoot at the hurricane. Dude, that's just Florida. That's the Florida man thing to do. I mean, there's a whole story about a guy pressure washing his roof in a thunderstorm while he's dressed as Spider-Man. This is a state that, prides itself on the headlines that it can produce. Shooting at hurricanes is pretty mild. I teach 6th grade. One time, a parent came to me after trying to help their child with math homework and asked, "What number is X worth? I feel like it changes with every problem." Yeah, that's how algebra works. On 9/11, the general manager called his daughter who was attending ASU to wake her up and make sure she saw what was going on. The customer service manager said, "It won't be on her TV yet. Arizona's 2 hours behind us." Oh, that's how that works. So when we're watching the presidential elections and whatnot, it's already been decided. We just don't know the result yet because, we're 3 hours behind the East Coast or whatever. My goodness. I worked at a Little Caesars and we were proofing the dough for pizza. My boss said at 7 p.m. that the dough needed to rise for 12 hours and took out her calculator to do the math. So I said, that's gonna be 7 a.m. Then she said the dough will expire in 48 hours and started doing the math again. I told her it would expire 2 days from now, and she said, that's kind of weird how that works out, huh? I quit shortly after that. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. Was at a party and someone's crappy old truck got stuck in some mud, so instead of sobering up and coming back the next day, he makes a Molotov cocktail with gas and throws it at the truck. The truck caught fire and was completely destroyed. Well, that's one way to solve a problem, I guess. One very expensive, very environmentally damaging way, yes. Oh, drunk logic. I knew a girl in high school who wanted to breathe fire. She put lighter fluid in her mouth and instead of blowing it onto a flame, she lit it on fire inside her mouth and then tried to blow it out. She came to school the next day with a bandage over half her face. She's beyond lucky that bandage only covered half her face. She could have lost her entire face. I mean, my goodness. Holy crap. Who thinks that's a good idea to light lighter fluid in your mouth on fire? This is the kind of stuff that results in the Bird Box Challenge, or the Tide Pod Challenge, or the Electric Burner Challenge. I swear I usually do try to avoid threads with any sort of potential toxicity or just face-palming and losing hope in humanity, but every so often there's just one that it's like, there's some really funny stuff and you just want to share it. That was r/AskReddit. And if you want more funny stories of just random human stupidity, then go ahead and click the link right here. Or if you want more funny, badly drawn Reddit, go ahead and click the link right here. Now you guys stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you all on Wednesday. Until then, stay beautiful, people.